Isolation is a funny thing. Not having anyone to talk to and being entirely on your own are scary thoughts, aren't they? The mind can do scary things when left to its own devices. Sometimes the only escape is to get away from it all in the most literal sense. Escapism and isolation don't necessarily have to go hand in hand, but they so often do. This, to me, is the beauty of Firewatch. Firewatch is one of many games in the genre of what's become called walking simulators. Think games like The Stanley Parable, or What Remains of Edith Finch, or Journey, and so on. Games that are more often about the in-the-moment experience and telling a story than memorizing combos or racking up a ton of kills. Firewatch isn't much different in this regard, being far more interested in leaving you in awe of its breathtaking and beautiful art style and compelling narrative. I'm someone who's always loved taking walks, taking in the scenery, clearing my head. I first experienced Firewatch in 2024, during what was undoubtedly an awful year for me emotionally and mentally, entering what may have been one of the worst depressive episodes of my life, one that I arguably still have yet to crawl out of. And it's moments like this where I look for any escape I can get. That escapism sometimes takes the form of a movie, sometimes reading old favorite comics. More often than not, my escapism of choice lies in video games. Firewatch is, with all this in mind, one that deeply resonated with me and captivated me, quickly becoming one of my absolute favorite games ever. Firewatch puts you in the shoes of Henry, a man from Boulder, Colorado. The story is set in the Wyoming wilderness, looking for an escape after his wife Julia is stricken with early onset dementia. It seems as though Henry is entirely alone until he arrives at his Firewatch tower and finds a walkie-talkie. This is where we meet Henry's sole lifeline out in the forest, Delilah. For the duration of Henry's time here, Delilah is the one constant, the only consistent person to talk to. It's an incredibly isolating feeling, and that only works in the game's benefit. Being largely alone with your thoughts is pretty much the whole point. Delilah will often ring in with instructions or just to chat, and this is where a lot of the beauty in the storytelling comes from. While you spend the whole of the game's runtime on your lonesome, Delilah is your only real connection, the only person you can talk to. There's a real, genuine connection to be made with her. You're given a few different options in how Henry responds to her, and this will influence how she responds to you and ultimately how you will feel about her. In my experience, it's a deep, meaningful connection. This makes the ending even more tragic and heart-wrenching. Delilah talks through much of the game, the mundane and the mysterious, the uncertainty and the monotony, the fear and the reprieve. She is, in many ways, your tether to reality as she looks to escape as much as you do. Henry and Delilah are both looking to escape from their past and their mistakes, both finding a sort of camaraderie in this regard. Delilah is naturally a very sarcastic, flirty person, matched by you being able to fill in the gaps for what sort of person you want Henry to be. You can match her wit, match her flirting, keep it casual, say nothing at all. It doesn't affect the overall narrative, but that's not really the point. Firewatch is an introspective sort of story. It allows you to explore your values, your place in the world, what's important to you. It was never supposed to be a big choose-your-own-adventure sort of game. It was about Henry as much as it was about your own exploration of self. Aside from Delilah talking to you on the radio, you're completely solitary during your time in Firewatch. That's not to say you don't see people way off in the distance, but they're always obscured. you never quite get a good look at them, and that contributes a lot to that feeling of isolation that makes the narrative so powerful. Being left alone with your thoughts and getting into your own head can be a dreadful, frightening experience, even when surrounded by the serenity and beauty of nature. In this regard, Firewatch is a beautiful story, a story of escapism and the futility of running from one's problems, a position that both you and Delilah find yourselves in as the mystery deepens and unravels. In this regard, Firewatch is not only a beautiful game to look at, but a heartbreaking cautionary tale. There are no shortage of theories around the game, dissecting every line and detail, and while there's certainly a conversation to be had there, that isn't what this video is about. Pushing Up Roses already did a fantastic video that covered where my train of thought went as far as that goes. Isolation, escapism, introspection, all themes beautifully woven together in a narrative that's short but sweet and heartfelt. Firewatch is not by any means a long game. How Long to Beat puts it at about 4 hours, a time I think is pretty accurate. I don't think that's a bad thing. Not all games have to be 100-hour long epics to be impactful works of art or worthwhile experiences. Firewatch manages to be both, not in spite of its length, but because of it. It's become the sort of game I plan on making an effort to play once every summer. It left that much of an impact on me. It's the sort of game I wish I could experience for the first time again. I loved it that much. Even if I couldn't directly relate to Henry's situation, I could easily put myself in his shoes, and that to me is the signature of a good, strong, well-written story with well-written characters. When I connect to and feel a profound sadness over never even meeting one of these characters physically, Firewatch was an experience I'll truly never forget. I'll never forget the summer I spent at my fire lookout job in the Wyoming wilderness. One scorching hot summer. Hey everyone, Saturn here again. This was a quicker video that took me a little longer than I had hoped to put together, due in large part to circumstances and my personal life being rather uncertain at the moment. I'm trucking along, but your support means more to me now than ever. If you like the video, consider leaving a like and comment telling me your thoughts. Even if I don't respond, I do read every single comment I get. If you want to see more videos like this, consider subscribing and hitting the notification bell to be notified of all future uploads. If you want to take it a step further, I have a Ko-fi page where you can more directly support the show. If you can't or just don't want to, that's fine, I get it. It's tough out there right now for everyone, and it's only getting tougher. Just watching the video means more to me than you know. Regardless of all that, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you around.